Alright, hey, it's Rick. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to make 3 rainbow-inspired cards to make everyone nice and cheered up for the summer because, everybody loves a rainbow. So to start off, I'm using I think it's the Peony Stencil from Simon Says Stamp. I'll have it listed below. And my High Joyful Wishes dies. So I am securing my stencil down to my grip mat, and I'm going to use some Distress Oxide inks and blend right over our stencil. So I started off with Kitsch Flamingo, and I'm just going to go at the diagonal here, and I'm going to come in at this Candied Apple, or no, Abandoned Coral, I think is what this is. And I'm just going to blend those together. I'm using Distress Oxide today. This is Carved Pumpkin. So I'm going to just blend those together with my little Abandoned Coral. And blend that together right there. And then this is Squeezed Lemonade. I got to have some Squeezed Lemonade. This is a super delicate stencil, so I've kind of got to hold it into place so that it doesn't move. And then I'm going to come in with Twisted Citron and blend those together just a little bit. And then I use peacock feathers. And I just blended that green and the peacock feathers together to create a nice little darker green there. And my last color is going to be a little Wilted Violet. So we're just going to blend those in right there. Sorry, I'm off the screen. And I'm going to pull that out. And now I have my first part of my card. For my sentiment, I'm going to cut that out with the High from the Joyful Wishes die from scrapbook.com. And for my second card, I'm going to spray the stencil with just plain water and flip it over and press it into place. That way it will transfer all that ink and I can pull it off. And I am using Bristol Smooth Cardstock for all of these today. So I'm going to go ahead and dry those with my heat tool so that they're nice and dry. And I guess I did not go ahead and die cut my sentiments yet. I guess I changed my mind. So now I'm going to die cut the sentiment. So we're going to go ahead and attach our outline die of the High. I'll cut that out of this panel. And then I will take and make sure I get the little tittle of the dot, which is the dot of the eye, by the way. We're going to set that off to the side. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut out the other one. I'm going to cut my sentiment out of that also. And if we go ahead and pop that off, make sure we get the tittle. Put it into my little cup up there. And now we are going to, I've done a third one from some white cardstock. And I'm just going to do another one down there because I'm going to use those for dimension. So I'll just take and die cut those and pop those out. Put them up there where we can attach everything. And if you feel like putting foam tape on all this, I'm going to do the shadow layer in some pitch black cardstock. There's my shadow layer. I do believe I did that a couple times. Well, I did one out of the pink cardstock, from the smooth pink cardstock from scrapbook.com. And now we are going to add this layer to a card base. These are just top folding card bases. So I'm just going to make sure I get glue around my die cut word. And we are going to take and just add these onto our card front for the first section of our card. I did want to make sure I got everything, those little bits and pieces in there. And so I did, so that's nice and covered. Now we're going to do that same thing for our next card. We're going to add adhesive around, make sure we get it around our little sentiment in those little areas and the rest of our card. That way everything is nice and secure and there's no wonky pieces sticking up. All right, so we're going to move on. And we are going to go ahead and do a second little area. We're going to go ahead and pop that back into place. And I'm going to take the negative piece of the part that I had left over. This is the interior. I'm going to pop that in there. That way it keeps the spacing right. Because I'm going to use, just like that, to a little easy inlay technique there. So we're going to go ahead and add that one. I just popped it right in there. It didn't really matter because we had the shadow layer. I'm going to add that across, and I'm going to take and put my outline high right in on our shadow layer, and I'm going to get my tittle and pop that right back into place with a little bit more glue. So we're going to pop that right back in like that. Add our tittle after I find it. I'm just going to add a little bit of barely art glue, and I'm going to take my tweezers and see, I lost my I lost it. I'm actually looking for my pokey tool that has the little wax tip, and then Lord knows at this time where I had put it. So for our next card, we're going to take and add our die cut sentiments. We're going to stack this up. This is from the very first card. We're going to make a third card with this one. So we're going to pop this up 3 times. And we're just going to pop those together. I will stack the tittle up as well. And we will also add this to a black shadow layer. If memory serves correctly. Yes, we do. See? It's been a while since I filmed this video, so I'm trying to remember what all I did. Now, I thought about keeping this super clean and simple and just adding the sentiment, but I am going to dress it up just a little. So we're going to go ahead and pop in our sentiment, or our tittles, I'm sorry. So we're going to start with our white layers, and I did find my little pickup tool. It took me a minute. It's hiding in plain sight as normal. So we're going to go ahead and do our other little tittle right there. I'm going to add that where I want it, and I'm going to take and just cut some strips of cardstock. This is just smooth cardstock from scrapbook.com. It's just scrap pieces I had. I'm going to cut them at different lengths and, widths. The lengths are already different. So we're going to just cut different widths. And we're going to make this super easy. I kind of picked colors that you could kind of see in the ink blending or close to it. It didn't have to be exact, but it's kind of close. I just picked colors that were close, and then I'm going to take and add a couple more strips. And you could also, if you had this is a great one for scraps. So that's pretty much what I'm using. It's just some scrap cardstock and pattern paper there. Now I'm going to take and add little beads of glue on the back of this. This is just a solid pattern from the Halloween spooky pattern paper pad. And then I'm going to draw a bit of glue. This is just smooth cardstock. I can't remember which pad it comes from. Again, it's just scraps. I'm going to add that little red color. And I'm going to alternate up and down. So I'm just going to add our little strips here. I just alternated the widths so that I saw fit. And I will cut off any excess at the very end with my long handled scissors. That way everything is nice and clean. So I'm just going to pop that over. I did give it a little bit of time to dry before I started cutting with my 10-hole 9-inch scissors. So we're just going to cut that off. And there we go. Now I'm just going to take and add that to my card front. So we're just going to add that with a little liquid glue. So I'm just going to pop that right into place. And I did decide to make that little cattywampus so that it went along with the diagonals of the stripes. And there is a super simple card. There's another super simple rainbow card. And our third super simple rainbow card. The easiest inlay technique you'll ever do. So there's a look at all 3 cards. Here's a closer look at all 3 cards. And I will see you guys in the next video. If you like this video, you're probably going to like the one coming up next. I will see you guys shortly. Have a great day.